You can now fit the entire Python standard library into a single prompt. 5.1 million tokens with room for months of code history on top. There's a catch. The model architecture everyone uses today makes that mathematically impossible. So one team deleted an assumption the whole field treated as physics. Start with the number that shouldn't exist, a 12 million token context window. That's big enough to hold the entire Python 3.13 standard library, 5.1 million tokens, and still swallow 6 months of React pull requests on top, another 7.5 million. So here's the loop we'll close. Why can't the models you use every day do this? By the end, you'll know the exact assumption that breaks the wall. Meet the villain. It's a single curve. A traditional transformer runs dense self-attention. Every token looks at every other token, scoring every possible pair. That means cost scales as n squared. Double the context and you quadruple the compute. That quadratic curve is the wall. It's what caps how long any prompt can get. So is long context just a hardware money problem? No, it's an architecture problem. Here's the insight that unlocks everything. Dense attention burns compute, scoring every possible relationship between every pair of words. But only a small fraction of those relationships actually carry meaning. So stop computing all of them. Start finding the ones that matter. That's sub-quadratic sparse attention, the architecture behind sub-q. It identifies the meaningful connections instead of computing every pair, and it turns n squared into near linear O of n. This is a real research direction, not a trick. It sits alongside state space models, sliding windows, kernel-based attention, and compressed representations. The honest trade-off. Classic transformers hold razor-sharp precision on short tasks, and sub-q spends a sliver of that to buy enormous context. So does the cheap version still think? Look at what the company reports on its own benchmarks. Start with the efficiency. At 12 million tokens, they report roughly 1,000 times less attention compute, 64.5 times less than dense attention, 56 times faster than flash attention 2 at a million tokens. Now the harder question, did capability survive the cut? On their long context tests, retrieval barely flinches. Ruler at 128K scores 99.1. Single fact needle hits 100% at 1 and 2 million tokens and 98% all the way out at 12 million. On reasoning, they report GPQA Diamond at 85.4 and Live Code Bench at 89.7. That's competitive midfield, not frontier beating. But it's holding that line while spending a fraction of the compute. So what does that let you actually build? One prompt, the whole code base. Entire repositories, complete artifacts, and long-lived agent state, all in a single context. No chunking, no retrieval hacks, no memory tricks. It ships as two products, an OpenAI-compatible API with a 12 million token window and tool use, and a code layer that plugs into agents like Claude Code, Codex, and Cursor, auto-redirecting the expensive turns with a one-line install. Here's the real move. It was never a bigger model. It's a reframe. Stop stacking parameters, start maximizing what you do with context, and treat efficiency itself as the lever for intelligence. The stated aim is architectural change beyond the transformer, not another incremental bump. Because the quadratic wall was never physics, it was an assumption. Once you accept that most word pair comparisons are just noise, the wall falls, and a 5 million token prompt goes from impossible to ordinary. If watching an assumption everyone treated as law quietly get deleted was worth your time, like and subscribe for more architecture breakdowns like this.